I want to take a minute today to do a review of the SIG Tango6. This is the 5-30 by 56 with the DevL reticle, and the adjustments on the turrets are in MOA. This scope is the flagship model for SIG right now. It is their largest magnification optic, and it's really their first kind of venture into the precision rifle optics game, where they're doing long range precision and they're matching the features of a lot of the big name scope makers, right? So they're right up there with the high-end Vortex and the Burris, as well as Night Force and Schmidt and Bender and all of those. I think this scope is phenomenal. I'll just say that right up front. This is my third scope that I've used on a different gun of this same model. I've used the MOA and the MRAD versions, both with the DevL reticles. I think that's the best option there. You can get a more standard reticle, but I'm a fan of Horus reticles, and I think they offer a huge amount of information inside the glass and give you a great picture. And so I try to stick to anything that's really close to that look, and the DevL reticle really gives you that. So this scope is a 5-30 magnification on a 34mm tube with a 56mm objective lens. So it gives you a ton of light. It's great at really high magnification. So even when you're cranked up to 30, the scope doesn't get dark on you. The only time that I've noticed a real reduction in the brightness is when you've got this sunshade on, but that's obviously something that you would expect. The features of this scope are really what set it apart for me and why I wanted to get my hands on one and try one, as opposed to just sticking with the high-end Vortex or the Night Force. So what are those really? One is this great magnification ring. It's got a couple of fiber optic bars in here, so when you're looking down the scope, it's really easy to see what magnification you're at, rather than looking for an etched dot on the thing like you have with a lot of other scopes. The turrets on this thing are great. You've got these large knurled turrets. They're locking, so you would unlock and lock these prior to or after making your adjustments. The MOA adjustment one has 30 MOAs per revolution, so you've got a massive amount of adjustment here. You also have hash markings for each quarter click and full MOAs, which make dialing up corrections really simple. You get the same with your windage knob as well. On the opposite side of the scope, we have parallax adjustment. This guy goes from 30 to infinity. Prior to the infinite parallax, you get increments all the way up to 500 yards, which makes it great for really dialing out parallax and getting a really good, clean, accurate picture there. You also have brightness on that same knob, and then the last piece of that knob, which I think is one of the shining features of this scope, is you have the switch for the level plex anti-cant system. And so what that does, you would push that in and it activates a digital level inside of the scope. And so then when you're looking through the reticle, on either side of your reticle, you'll have arrows that light up one direction or the other, and that tells you if the rifle's canted, which way you need to tilt the rifle to become level. And why I think that's a great feature and really a big deal is because we're used to using traditional bubble levels for precision rifles, and that's accurate only to about 2 degrees of cant, whereas the digital level that's built into this optic is accurate to 0.5 degree of cant. And that means at greater distances you're going to have less drift because of cant, and you're going to have a more accurate shot overall. So that's something that really drove me towards these scopes initially, and having used them now for a little while and shot enough with it, I think it's a phenomenal way of doing it without being gimmicky like some of the tracking point scopes or some of the other more digital scopes out in the market. So the scope offers, a ton of great features. It's got an awesome finish. Everything feels great. Your clicks are positive, locks down great. You have an adjustable zero stop that you can lock back in once you've zeroed the rifle. You have the anti-cant system, great parallax adjustment. Everything is intuitive and easy to use, and most of all, the glass and the reticle look great. So this has been a fantastic scope to shoot through, and at the same price range that puts you right in there with some of the Night Force and the high-end Vortex optics, I think this is something that's definitely worth checking out. And the SIG electro-optic division is just making some awesome stuff these days. I forgot to mention, so I'll dump this in at the end. SIG has an infinite guarantee, which is essentially the exact same warranty that Vortex offers. These are lifetime warranties on all of their optics against pretty much anything. So if you're being swayed by the warranties, SIG offers it as well. It's awesome.